me. What's up, fam? This is part 3 of the wonderful, crazy ride that was my absolute disaster 20th birthday.
And I'm back.
She's back! She never leaves! I'm kidding. She's my best friend. She's always here. So, when is she not? This basically is a story as to why Jessica and Dan are no longer friends with me. I'm gonna get very heated. I'm gonna get very angry. Lots of hands. Phalanges thrown everywhere. I am still irked, and it's been 3 months.
It really, wow.
Right?
Oh my god.
It's been a long
Yeah, it's
time.
been yeah, you're right. So we're gonna go back to the day Jerry and Sierra broke up. So after she was in the car, she calls me. And at the time I couldn't pick up. Then I think you guys went to Moe's, and then I called them back, and Jessica answered the phone and told me all about what happened. And I was like, what? Because never in a million years would I think Jerry would be the type of person to do that, but I guess you are. So then I came over, and we were all going to do something, and I think we were going to, like, break into a cemetery or something, because, like, whenever Sierra and I have a crisis, we just, like, do dumbass shit.
No, we were gonna go to the cemetery or Rhode Island. And it was raining, and Jessica was not about going to Rhode Island, because she's not as cool as us. But, yeah, so we got gas, and I texted Dan, and I was like, hey, I was talking to him, like, all day, and, like, telling him what happened. He's like, I'm so sorry. He's like,
Because Dan knew about it, too.
Dan knew the whole time, and
Not
he didn't
just
tell
Jessica.
me. Yeah, they both didn't tell me. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I tried to tell him, like, he shouldn't do it, and he just had his mind set that he didn't want to be with me anymore. Blah, freaking blah. So then he was like, do you want to calm down and, like, well, like, I'll console you and, like, we can talk and everything. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I was like, Jessica, do you want to go? And she was like, yeah, let's do it. I'll go see Dan. And I was like, all right. So Jessica, Kelsey, and I, we drove down to the mall, and we walk in, and I was heated. I was just flinging arms. I was just, like, going off. I was so mad. And so him and his coworker were trying to console me and, like, calm me down and everything. Then Jessica asked Kelsey if she wanted to go outside with her to smoke a cigarette, because Jessica smokes and obviously Kelsey doesn't. Asked her to, like, tag along. So then me and Dan stayed inside while he was closing down the store.
Yeah. Then when me and Jessica came back, like, the store was closed, so we just, like, sat outside in front of the store, like, on a chair, and we were, like, talking all about what, like, Jerry did to Sierra and how fucked up it was, and she talked about her ex and, like, how Dan was, like, so amazing and such an amazing guy and, like, so great to her and stuff. And then like a half an hour later, 15 minutes or half an hour later, like, Sierra and Dan came out of the store, and Dan was like, oh, like, we're gonna go to the bank to drop off the deposit, like, do you want to come with us? And Jessica was like, no, like, it's okay. Like, me and Jessica went off to, like, go meet them at the bank, while Sierra went with Dan to, like, go to the bank, which is, like, right next to the mall. So I drove over there with Jessica, and Jessica was just like, oh my god, like, Dan's so great, like, still talking, like, him up so much, and was saying, like, he was the best thing she ever had. And then, like, we met them at the bank, and, like, everything was fine, right?
So we thought. So then, like, we drove home, and Jessica wanted me to sleep over. So she's like, come sleep over, like, I want to make sure you're okay. Because I was not okay. Like, I was not okay. Mm-hmm. And I could not be home. Like, at least for a month, I couldn't be home, like, by myself, because I just was just so upset. It really hurt me. And so then I go to Jessica's house, and we're sitting there, and I'm texting Dan. And I'm also texting Jerry, and I'm going off on him. I'm going off. Like, I'm like, how dare you? Like, I didn't do anything to you. And he was just like, he's like, we're two different people. You like to talk about your feelings and I don't. I was like,
Oh my god.
bitch.
Did he really say that?
Yes.
Oh my fucking
What?
god.
Okay, it's not a personality trait, okay? Like, need to go to
Can't
therapy.
deal with your shit.
What?
Like, you need to go to therapy.
like what?
Oh my
So,
god.
I finally stopped talking to him because I'm just, like, going off and I, like, can't. I am texting Dan. Now, I was just saying how, like, I'm fine now, but, like, at the time, I was just not okay. I was not in a good mindset. Like, me 3 months ago was not the same Sierra that I am now. But I was just so upset. Like, I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I can't. Like, I literally felt like I couldn't be me without someone, and that's so unhealthy. I just was not okay. And Dan was just like, you know, I felt that way for some other girl too, and like, you can't do that to yourself because, like, you deserve to be here. You deserve to have things. Like, you're an amazing person, you're great, and like, you deserve to be around, and I'll be damned if I ever let you leave this place. And he sent me this like long paragraph. Now, Jessica saw that he sent me a paragraph because I was crying, and then, like, I was just so upset I couldn't drink water. We got Taco Bell. I couldn't eat that. I literally couldn't eat. I didn't go to bed till like 3 in the morning. All of a sudden, Jessica leaves to go FaceTime Dan. And they're out there for at least an hour.
Wait, really?
Yeah. They were out talking. I find out later that they were talking about how Jessica believed that Dan and I were secretly together behind her back.
Meanwhile, this was literally like the day that this bitch fucking told her that her boyfriend was cheating on her and watched her literally break up with her boyfriend. This is like hours after.
She sat next to me as I told him we were done. Like, I don't understand, like, what she was thinking. Then, I'm, like, just sitting there in her bed, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, they just, like, she wasn't coming back. And then all of a sudden, she, like, comes in the room. She was like, I need to borrow your phone. And then I get a text from Dan saying, let Sarah borrow your phone. I was like, so they FaceTimed each other so Jessica could scream at Dan that we were together, having a relationship together, on my phone.
Wait, what?
They FaceTimed each other on my phone for another hour. I was
Why?
sitting in her room by myself with no phone for an hour. So she can...
Why did they need your phone?
Because her phone died.
Oh my fucking god. Jessica, you fucking crazy. You know who you be.
They finally, like, stopped, and they didn't tell me what happened. Like, Dan told me everything after.
So what, when she came back, was she like, oh, like...
She's like, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? She wanted to make sure I was good. I get to sleep by, like, 3:30 in the morning. I pass out because I just didn't want to go sleep. I didn't want to do anything. So then I wake up the next day, and she's getting ready for work, and then I leave and go home. And I, like, told my boss everything. Like, everyone knew what happened because I went off on Snapchat and Twitter and on Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
Everyone knew. I had people messaging me, are you okay? Like, they knew. Like, everyone knew. So I walk into work, and my boss is like, all right, let it out. And I couldn't cry. I was so angry, I couldn't let myself cry. I was more angry at the fact that he could do something like that, and like, or anything like that. So that's why I was just pissed. So I go to work, I do clients, and I go to my phone, and I get a text from Jessica saying, did I do anything to you? I was like,
Oh my god.
because we didn't talk all day. But I was texting Dan because he was making sure I was okay. I was like, no, I was just at your house, like, not even, like...
A couple hours.
You only talk to Dan and you, like, don't give me the time of day. And, like, I feel like you just don't want to be my friend. I was like, Jessica, really? I'm going through a breakup. Like, calm down.
Can you stop your drama?
Yeah, and so I texted Dan. I said, is is Jessica okay? And he was like, no, she's not okay. I was like, why? Like, what did I do? He goes, it's not what you did, it's what I did. I was like, what did you do? He was like, I need to FaceTime you later. Mind you, like, we'll FaceTime here and there, but, like, I know that when he says we need to FaceTime, something's actually up. So I finished with work and everything, and I go home, and I FaceTime him, and he was just like, since your birthday, we have been fighting. Mind you, it was, like, a week. They've been fighting for a week that Dan and I were having a relationship behind Jessica and Jerry's back. She made this all in her head that he was such a piece of shit that he was doing that to her, and that I was doing that to her. I was her best friend. Like, why would I do that to her? I would never do that to Kelsey. I've known her for 10 years, okay? I'm not the type of person.
I'm the real OG.
Like, I would never do that to a person, let alone someone I called one of my best friends. The fact that she even thought that, I was pissed. So he was like, yeah, like, she thinks that we are having a thing behind her back, and since you and Jerry are no longer dating, like, you're just making it obvious now that she thinks that we no longer want her in our lives, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, who are you?
She did this the day after she fucking went through a breakup.
The day after. I didn't even get time to breathe. I didn't even get time to process that I no longer was dating someone I thought I was going to marry. Because my so-called best friend didn't give me the time. Didn't give me the time of day to let me live this out. So I texted her. I was like, why would you think that? She did a huge paragraph. I was like, why would you think I would do that? That's ridiculous. Like, I'm going through a breakup right now, and you're making this all about you. She goes, Sierra, you know, other people have feelings too, and it's not all about you. I was like, this bitch. What? Oh, yes, okay, I understand. Other people have feelings, but I literally just went through the hardest time of my life, and you want to go and put your nonsense, smother it around like it's like, what? Made this all up in her head. She made it up. She's crazy. Crazy. So I was just like freaking out. I was so mad. And she was just like going on and on and on about how she had feelings too, and like it's obvious that we were like together. And I was just like, because I was asking him for advice and help to not want to die because I just lost one of my best friends. Like, sorry. Okay? I don't understand. I'm FaceTiming him. We FaceTimed for literally 2 hours. He's freaking out. He's so upset. He literally wouldn't sleep because she would keep him up till 3 in the morning when he had work in the morning to yell at him because she had this thought in her head that we were doing stuff behind her back. Like, literally ruined this kid. Like, he was such a happy kid, and then if you see pictures of, like, before and now, it's, like, it's so upsetting, because no one should ever do that to someone. That's so unhealthy. The relationship was unhealthy from the start, and yes, it was my fault, because I matched them together, so technically it was my fault, and I feel really bad about it. They were fighting, like, going back and forth with Jessica. I was FaceTiming Dan. We went to Rhode Island to vent. Like, she was sitting over there, like, she was fine when you guys were talking at Zoomies.
She was saying how, like, he didn't even invite her to go to the bank with them, and he just wanted alone time with Sierra because they were fucking around, and she was so mad, and, like, that is not the case at all. I was like, dude, you don't have anything to apologize for. He's like, no, I have to apologize.
He did not have to apologize for a single thing he's ever done because he didn't do anything to that girl. Because he would have treated her right. She's just crazy. That's all. It's all there is to it. The next day, I'm talking to Dan, and we're just like talking about it, and she's going off saying that like she doesn't want us in our lives anymore. And I texted Jessica. I was like, look, let's talk and let's figure things out. So she picks me up that night, and we go to this like place in Brantford. It was like near a lake. And we started talking, and she was like, do you have feelings for him? And I was like, I had a crush on him. Yes, I'll be honest. I did have a crush, but I wasn't gonna do anything, seeing as A, it was Jerry's best friend, and B, it was Jessica's guy. So why would I have done anything?
Dude, your finger.
Like, why would I have done anything? She was just like, the fact that you had feelings for him and like didn't stop because I wanted to be with him, and like I knew it, I saw right through you, like we can't be friends anymore. So I was just like, well, if we can't be friends, then here's your necklace. Like, always cherish like our friendship, but like if you don't want to be my friend, like I'm not gonna keep you here. So we stopped being friends. And then the next day, Dan said that he like needed to stop like talking to me for a little bit so he can figure stuff out with Jessica. I need to give it space. Like let's like talk in a week. But like I need to try to figure stuff out with Jessica because I don't want to lose her and I don't want to lose you. He just stopped talking to me. He literally, I didn't hear from him for a month. And then on Thanksgiving, I was just like, hey, happy Thanksgiving. He was like, thank you. So like we like barely talked anymore. And then one day, I get a text from Kelsey saying, Dan blocked me. I was like,
Dan blocked me.
I was like, I have a silly suspicion that Dan blocked me too. So I look on my Instagram, mind you, the day before, I liked his picture. So I look on Instagram, he blocked me. Jessica blocked me too. And so I haven't talked to him since because he decided that Jessica was worth it. I mean, now they're not even together. They're not even friends anymore because he eventually saw how crazy she was. So congratulations. Like, I don't know what to say, but that is my wonderful...
So needless to say, fuck you, Jessica. I didn't like you anyway. And fuck you, Dan. I never liked you.
And that is the end of the week from hell that ended my 2018 experience. Worst year ever. It was awful. I put out new videos every Friday, and Kelsey will most likely be here again.
Probably.
Till next week. Bye, bitches.